Well, we are joined now on the line from Johannesburg by Wayne McCurry, Portfolio Manager with Momentum Wealth. Good afternoon, Wayne. Thanks for joining me. Now,
Pleasure.
Good news, obviously, but is 3% really enough to get excited about?
Look, anything that's positive is quite frankly exciting news. The GDP was always going to go up after the first quarter contraction. And when you look at data like this, quarter on quarter, there is a bit of distortion every now and again because of public holidays and all of these sort of technical issues. But it is good news, and it's certainly a lot better than what most people were expecting.
Now, Wayne, agriculture and electricity showed a decrease. We can understand why agriculture showed a decrease with the drought, but what caused the contraction in electricity sector?
Look, that's also difficult to answer directly, simply because that number itself does vary. There's no particular reason, and it sort of stands out because mining and manufacturing were up so strongly, and these are the main sectors that use electricity. So that clearly is a little bit of an abnormality in the numbers.
What do you think is going to happen in the third quarter as far as mining and manufacturing go, Wayne?
Well, look, luckily enough, the commodity cycle, the mining cycle, seems to be turning in South Africa's favor, and it seemed to have turned at the beginning of the year. So the number's not going to be 11%, because I think that's more of a technical bounce off a very low base. But the number should still be positive, and the same for manufacturing, because I think we're actually over the worst in our domestic economy, and certainly, and we all hope that we get some rain, because then obviously agriculture will pick up as well. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to have good, solid, strong growth. It just means things are getting better, and we're unlikely to now with this number to have 0% this year. Maybe we get 0.5% growth, and then next year, if everything falls correctly and we see some rain, we can maybe get 1.5% to 2% growth. And of course, that is good news.
There has been some fear, Wayne, that South Africa would fall into a recession. Are we out of the woods now?
I actually think yes. I mean, anything can happen. You never know. You never know the future. But certainly, the biggest single influence on the South African economy is the mining or commodity cycle, because effectively that's what we do as a country. Is we dig stuff out the ground and we sell it. And that certainly seems a lot more positive than what it was 6 or 9 months ago. And if that continues, I think we are out the woods. I think we have seen the worst.
Wayne, one last question. Can we expect the spat between the Hawks and Pravin Gordhan to impact on GDP later this year?
If Pravin Gordhan is fired, yes, it will have a devastating impact on the rand, on our GDP, on a whole multitude of factors. But if he stays in power, then the effect and the spat between the Hawks and Pravin Gordhan, I don't think will be that influential. But certainly, if he is replaced in the cabinet reshuffle, it would quite frankly be catastrophic.
Thank you, Wayne, for providing that insight into that positive news on this Tuesday afternoon. That was Wayne McCurry, Portfolio Manager for Momentum Wealth.